This meeting is being streamed live by the Carroll Media Center on their YouTube channel with a link available on the town's Facebook page. Please silence your devices, silence them if you have not yet done so. And now Elsie is going to call the meeting to order.
Good evening and welcome to the Town of Sykesville Mayor Town Council meeting. Today is Monday, January 12th, 2026. I will call the meeting at order at 7 p.m.
Awesome. There we go. So could please stand so we can say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll follow that with a brief moment of silence, and Elsie's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Go ahead, Elsie.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we'll have that brief moment of silence, please. Awesome sauce. Okay, buddy. All right, let's get this out of the way here. There you go. All right. Well, I'm so super excited, as they say here in town, super psyched about this entire agenda, and the fact that I'm sharing it all with Elsie is like just gravy. But the first part of this evening's meeting, it's not necessarily an item of new business, but it is super duper important. We are going to be appointing, you can have it if you don't mind. We're going to be appointing our new council member. And that council member to be is named Brandon Smith, and I think he's in the audience, right? Brandon, please come forward. You can stand right here. And I might as well come out. Oh, wait, that's Elsie's. I'm so sorry. Does he? Oh, he signs this. I have a pen. Woo! Okay. I mean, I swear, it's just I'm so prepared that I'm so not prepared. Okay. Big day, buddy. Big day. All right, here we go. That's actually so we can get photos. You turn sideways to the audience here. Okay, very good. All right. I, Brandon Smith, do swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And that I will bear faithful.
And that I will bear faithful.
And bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland.
And bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland.
And support the Constitution and laws thereof.
And support the Constitution and laws thereof.
And that I will.
And that I will.
To the best of my skill and judgment.
To the best of my skill and judgment.
Diligently and faithfully.
Diligently and faithfully.
Without partiality or prejudice.
Without partiality or prejudice.
Execute the office.
Execute the office.
Of council member according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
Execute the office of council member according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
That's how we go, brother. This is Kate. There was a time when I called her my mini-me because she looked more like me than her own mother. But Kate, I'm so glad you're here and I'm so happy for your daddy. All right. And now you come up here with us, Brandon, and sit in your new seat. Vacated by Councilman Schofield, I guess about 6 or 8 weeks ago now, huh? Time has flown.
Middle of November, yeah.
Wow, okay. And I'm going to sign your oath of office, Brandon. And I think you have the formal one there.
Yeah.
And then I'll hand it back to you. No. And you have to sign this with a Sykesville pen.
Oh, okay.
All right. Excellent. Okay, well, I want a round of applause for that. So, next on our agenda is the appointment of the council liaison position to the Planning Commission. So, for the edification of the public, Councilman Schofield, when he vacated his council seat, also vacated what was our liaison to the council. The council's liaison to the Planning Commission. And so that seat is also vacated and will be filled also by Brandon Smith, who has been a loyal volunteer and a planning commissioner since 2020, I think. Yeah. Okay, it might be 2021. So Brandon will fill that position as well. So that is something that I'd like to ask for a motion for approval on that appointment to the to the liaison position. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. And do we have a second?
Second.
All right, so the motion is by Councilman Dyer and seconded by Council President Carter. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, awesome. Can you click that gavel for me? Fantastic. That appointment is made and passes unanimously. Thank you. Next is public comment. Is anybody here to make public comment?
Only one for official public comment, and that is Chris Bushman.
Okay, Mr. Bushman. You have a big audience this time, Chris.
Someone's going to go ahead and pass given everything that's going on. I think it's actually very appropriate with Mayor Renee here.
Fantastic. So this is a point where anybody in the public has an opportunity to speak 3 minutes to address the council and the public. So that's what Mr. Bushman's about to do.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Chris Bushman, 532 Oklahoma Avenue. I didn't speak last time, which seemed appropriate because it's Thanksgiving time, but I thought I'd pass it in. You had a very full agenda. Not that you don't tonight. But entering 2026, I wanted to just reaffirm my appreciation for everything that all of you do, including the mayor for a day. Everybody really appreciates you stepping up to serve. Thank you very much. I just wanted to let all of you know that since the time I've been doing this, what I've been doing has been validated by a lot of people that have approached me and said that they do feel the way I feel. And they don't always have time to express it to you, but they want to make sure that I knew that I was actually speaking for them. So that validation I thought was important to bring to you.
It is.
And so then the next thing is I wanted to thank you, sir, for serving, and thank your family, because I know you're also going to be serving as well. I know you've served for a while now, and I was really happy to see that somebody who had been participating in the town and serving in that capacity was stepping up again to serve. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And then a couple other things I wanted to I've been kind of sitting on a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that all of you knew that putting the Treasurer's Report and the Public Safety Report on the agenda with a link that everybody can see those things is very important, and to validate what you've done with that. I just think that makes a big difference. On the Treasurer's Report end of things, the numbers are important.
Yes.
I think we all know that if you're going to be running a town or any kind of bureaucracy, we'll call this one maybe a neighborocracy,
We'll take it.
is that you have to be careful with everything you do, especially on the administrative side. But if you make a mistake on the money side, that's where you start getting in trouble. And that's why it's very important to have a competent person who's very diligent, very trustworthy, handling that aspect of things.
Yes, sir.
And so I wanted to say thank you for that, and to let you know that I think it's a really good idea to put that in there. On the public safety front, I'm doing on time.
You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
On the public safety report front, I think that's also very important, and I want to acknowledge the chief and the deputy.
Thanks, sir.
That takes a lot of effort to put that in there, but transparency is important. I also think that it's important to recognize that balancing that transparency with confidentiality is quite a task. You have to hit that right on, or else it gets a little bit tricky. And I think that any relationship like the one that the police and the community has depends on trust. And trust oftentimes depends on telling you and your officers things that you're going to keep in confidence. But then also hit that balance with making sure the community knows what you're doing, which says to me that there's two aspects you usually put in there. One is the community policing, and I think that's really important for people to see that, because the police are part of the community. And to do the kind of things that show up in that report means a lot. The other one is the assisting allied agencies. I know that over the course of time, because I've lived here for 34 years, that's become a bit of an issue for some people, wondering why our police are out in the Eldersburg or other parts of the county. And I just want, you guys know my history, so I want to, but from my experience, those mutual aid agreements are worth their weight in gold. That every single agency that participates in them gets more out of it than they put into it. And it's as simple as this. For every time one of your officers goes out, that's a little bit of time that's spent outside. But we also get 24/7 service from all the other agencies that are included in that. So we get much more by knowing that your folks have backup all the time, no matter what day of the week, time of night, you have backup. And we all have the services of all those allied agencies. So I just, knowing that's been an issue in the past, I just wanted to bring that up, that I think that's critically important.
Thank
So,
you.
anyway,
Thank you very much.
gotta be over the limit now.
No, we're good. My biggest concern is the Steeler game starts at 8:15. So.
I know, I was thinking about that too.
Right. We are dragging this meeting out.
I made much more trouble with the Ravens around. Bottom line, thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Bush.
you.
Thank you. This brings us to the part of our agenda where I proclaim mayor for a day. So I'm going to read this. Would you like to stand while I read it? Yeah, I'm going to stand up next to you. Is that cool? Okay. All right, we'll push this in. And actually, for purposes of photographs, maybe we go around the front. All right. Good deal. All right. Whereas the town of Sykesville values the involvement and contributions of its young citizens, particularly its scouts, and whereas the Mayor for a Day program provides an opportunity for young individuals to learn about local government, civic responsibility, and leadership. And whereas Elsie Tomaszewski, did I say it right? Tomaszewski. I had two options. I picked the wrong one. I should have asked you upstairs. Tomaszewski has demonstrated outstanding qualities of leadership, community involvement, and commitment to making Sykesville a better place. And whereas Elsie Tomaszewski has inspired others with their commitment to thinking of others before oneself, to performing a good deed every day, and to simply do your best. That's your motto, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right on.
The Scout motto.
Fantastic. And whereas Mayor Link recognizes the importance of fostering the next generation of leaders and encouraging their active participation in civic life. Now therefore, I, Stacy C. Link, Mayor of the town of Sykesville, Maryland, do hereby proclaim January 12, 2026, Elsie Tomaszewski Day in the town of Sykesville, and urge all citizens to join me in recognizing and celebrating the contributions of our young leaders. In witness whereof I have thereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the town of Sykesville to be affixed this day, January 12, 2026. Elsie, we're going to go sign this and make it official, okay?
That's my pen.
Oh, can I borrow it?
Yes.
I seem to loan mine out already. There you go. You can get you are taking that pen home. That is yours. It'll be worth something one day. I can just feel it. All right. That brings us to, thank you, dear, and you're going to take that home, okay? And we have one in the records on our side, so we're good. This brings us to our item on an agenda called the consent agenda, which is inclusive of the minutes from November 24th, 2025, the minutes from December 7th, 2026, and the approval of the 2026 meeting dates and holidays, which I am sure everybody has already posted to their own personal calendars. And
Mayor, real quick,
yes,
before we get to the consent agenda, do we want to recognize the Recycle Award?
Yes, we absolutely should, except I didn't have it on my list, and that's why I fumbled that.
You're okay.
Do you have the specifics that you wanted to share, or we're just going to let? Yes. Julie, can I ask you to share with us the details of the artwork and so on and so forth, and then.
Mayor, if that's okay, I think since we have the artist with us,
Yes.
I would just rather.
Oh, just do it that way. Well, I love that. Okay, let's do that.
If Amaya is okay with you.
Yeah, Maya, please.
You
Yes.
want me to just bring it and
yes.
Amaya can take the podium
Yes,
and explain what
please.
she did?
Absolutely.
Thank you. You want to go to the podium and just explain what you did, or you want?
Sure. Okay, cool. Maya, please introduce yourself formally. I'm sorry that I didn't. Here.
It's amazing.
Wait till you find out what that's made of. Thank you.
My name's Amaya Harding and I go to Century High School.
Thanks, Amaya. And tell us about your artwork and what inspired you to do so.
Basically, something that we once enjoyed, like if you go somewhere and you have a pastime, it's basically like that.
Okay, all right. So Amaya is 16 years old. She's a junior at Century High School and is very passionate about creating art. She won this grand prize. This was awarded the grand prize in 2025's Rethink Recycling Sculpture Contest. So Amaya, tell us what the sculpture is made from.
So I used styrofoam, and then I used old Christmas lights that didn't work anymore.
Okay.
And then for the flowers, I used spoons.
That is amazing. So if you guys will take the opportunity before you leave the building tonight to look at this, if you have the chance. If you don't, it will be its new home for I'm not sure how long, Julie. Have we decided? Indefinitely? Yeah, maybe forever, if it's okay with Amaya. It will be in our visitor center / post office on Oklahoma Avenue. And it'll be brightening up the space just fine. Amaya, thank you. I'm really proud of you.
And just
much.
for reference,
Fantastic.
this was a statewide program. This
Yes.
was not just county
Yes,
or
yes, thank
Century.
you.
This was actually a statewide program.
It's a big deal.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Great.
Go Century. Unconventional materials for sure. Julie, would you mind? Thank you so much.
I can't believe that whole thing is made out of recycling bins.
See, now you've inspired someone else, Amaya. That's fantastic. It is really amazing. It literally looks like blown glass somehow.
At first, that's what I
Yeah.
thought it was.
Yeah.
Even being up close, it's beautiful.
Fantastic. Yeah, so again, it'll be at the visitor center at the post office, open during normal business hours at the post office. So please check it out. Okay, next is our consent agenda, which is inclusive of, thank you everyone, which is conducive of the minutes from November 24th, 2025, the minutes from December 7th, 2026, and the approval of the 2026 meeting dates and holidays.
Is there a motion to approve the consent of agenda?
So moved.
Thank you.
I would so move as amended.
Okay, all right, and those have been logged appropriately.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. All right, so the motion is made by Councilman Keenan and the motion is as amended and seconded by Councilman Dyer. All in favor, please say
Aye.
Aye.
excellent. And
But make sure that's not this kind of aye.
that's right, it's AYE. Yes. And so any opposed? All right, so then you say this right here.
The motion passes unanimously. The consent agenda is approved.
All right. You know, it does become quite a power tool. Yeah. Feels good, right? And then you say this.
The first and only item of new business is the presentation of the FY 2024 to 2025
Audit. You got it, girlfriend.
Of course.
Is that
This is the most exciting event ever.
this evening?
I already screwed it up. Look, Carrie's like 10 seconds in.
Are you okay with the plug? It's not going to pull you?
Yeah, I'm not going to move.
Okay. All right. Very good.
I'll be fine.
Okay. Just in case.
Just in case. Well, I did it again. Look. Let's just keep popping it.
There you
There we go. All right. Since there's a football game in the future, we will do the brief presentation because I could go on for hours.
Appreciate
and
you.
hours.
Yes.
Yeah. So we did. I guess I should start with. I'm Eva Webb.
Sorry,
I'm
Eva.
an audit partner at LSWG, and we did the audit for the town for the year ended June 30, 2025. So we're gonna roll through these very exciting numbers. I never don't use a mouse anymore, so bear with me. There we go. All right. The independent auditor's report is essentially what you pay us for, right? So we issue an opinion on your financial statements, and I think we were talking about the numbers a little bit earlier. So in that second paragraph, in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects. So what that means is you have a clean, unmodified audit opinion, which is the best audit opinion you can get. So there's, we're like lawyers. There's 2 more pages that
says that?
that says that. But just as a reminder, I do like to remind everybody there at the top, management is responsible for these financial statements, and all we do as auditors is express an opinion. So these aren't our statements, these are your statements. That was not super clear as of a few years ago, and so the accounting standard body put these bulleted points in there. And so the reason you have an outside audit is because we exercise professional judgment, we maintain professional skepticism. I always say it's trust but verify. That's sort of like the auditor's motto. We identify and assess risks of material misstatements to your financial statements. We look at your internal controls. That's super exciting. We evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies, and we conclude whether or not you're a going concern, meaning you're viable for the next 12 months. The date on here is left blank because governance, which is the mayor and council, has to review and approve these audited financial statements. So as soon as that is done, we will finalize and then issue them to the state because they have to go to the state of Maryland. All right, let's look at some numbers. I know, very exciting. They are actually pretty good numbers this year. I never can with the view here, Carrie. Is this okay? We'll look at a half a page at a time.
Okay.
So the town has, I gotta get it to where I like it here. This is the statement of net position, and what it does is it shows all of the assets and all of the liabilities of the town. Everything is on the statement of net position for the governmental activities. You'll see the town has current assets of $7.6 million. And if you look, the rows are just all the different types of assets that you have, but the largest portion is in cash with escrow agents and certificates of deposit. So that's really a good position. And if you look down a little bit, you also have some non-current assets, which include things like your notes receivable and your property and equipment, things like the house, the townhouse. 7.7, almost 7.8 million of your assets are related to property and equipment. So total assets for the town, a little over 15 million, 15.7 million. Deferred outflows, a little over 1.3 million. And then we have some liabilities. Of course, all entities have liabilities at any point in time. So as of June 30, 2025, the town had about 421,000 of current liabilities, which included things like accrued payroll, accounts payable, very routine types of things, some escrows. Accrued vacation, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. I'm sure that's, we implemented a new standard, so we'll talk about that footnote. Under long-term liabilities, I think you all are well aware of your pension liability, right? About 1.7 million at the end of the year. You also have some deferred inflows. That's a little over 2 million. That largely represents the unspent ARPA funds. I cannot wait till we don't have to say ARPA anymore. How about everybody else?
Yes.
Are you probably close, right? We're probably close to being done. The difference between our assets and our liabilities is what's known as net position. A lot of places call that your reserves. So the town has excellent net position. You'll see almost 13 million at the end of the year. And there are different categories, right? So you do have a portion that was invested in your capital assets. That's that almost $8 million number. You do have some that are restricted, right? That they have to be used for the purpose in which they were received, about 2.2 million. So your unrestricted net position at the end of the year, about 2.8 million. Your next statement is the statement of program activities. And when I was taking the CPA exam, I hated this schedule, but I love it now that I present because it makes so much sense. Instead of starting with revenues, it starts with expenses. So there on the left, it says the town had $5.9 million of expenses, and it was by category, right? Because the town does various things. You have general government, public safety, public works, parks and rec, all those different categories. And then it says, how is the town going to pay for those expenses? So program revenues include things like charges for services, right? You're going to charge for various things. about $200,000. You also submit for grants and get some contributions for various things, about $368,000. You also get capital grants and contributions, so those go to help with, different things like the ARPA funds are sitting in there. So that was almost $1.4 million. So you'll see if you take your expenses and subtract out for those revenues, you still had $3.9 million, almost $4 million of costs. So how does the town pay for those? They charge taxes, right? So your income tax number is almost $1.4 million. Your real estate taxes, $1.8 million. And then you have some intergovernmental, some rental, and then a very nice chunk of change is being earned on your interest currently. So as I was talking to Joe earlier, you have a small loss, about $125,000. Sounds like a big number, but in regards to the total town budget, it's a little under 1% for last year. There are several more pages of statements, and I'm not going to present them because we're going to talk about them in a few minutes when we get to the budget versus actual. The towns, because accounting's not complicated enough, decided to do 2 sets of statements, the full government-wide, which we just talked about, and then the fund level, which is how you budget. So the only things that aren't on there are things like capital assets and debt, things that are not currently available. There are a couple notes. You guys have a lot of notes to the financial statements. There's a lot going on at the town of Sykesville. There are a couple I just wanted to talk about. That one that is new, if we're going to go to page 5, note 1, page 5. So exhibit A6, page 5. Here we go. It's very exciting too. Accrued compensated absences. We spent a lot of time, GASB 101 was implemented during the year. So we spent a lot of time looking at your leave policies, your sick leave policies, your comp time policies. And so additional accrual was added this year as a result of that. I did want to point out here in the middle, for those employees that are vested in the Maryland State Retirement System, sick leave hours count towards their service credit. So it is not included in their accrual. And that's in the document you signed when you signed up for the Maryland State Retirement. So we're not double counting it. We got that question a lot. So that was one thing I did want to mention. In just a minute, we'll talk about the balances in that. Note 3D, page 14. So if we go to 14, that should be where our chart is. Okay. Yeah, so here, right in the middle, compensated absences, the beginning balances, and then we have our either increases or decreases and our ending balances and the amounts due within 1 year. So it includes annual leave, sick leave, and some comp time. So those are the balances as of June 30. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, you be quiet, computer. It's okay. Fund balances are detailed here on what they can and cannot be spent for. So sometimes you have fund balance, but it's not in a spendable form, right? Like I can't spend a note receivable that I haven't collected yet. I can't spend prepaid expenses. So that $435,000 is shown as non-spendable. Carrie, it's really not loving me today, but that's okay. I'll leave the pop-up button. Your restricted balance, it's always good to know what it's restricted for. I think it's important. Gatehouse Museum, public project funds, the Warfield purchaser, and the Warfield complex renovation escrow. All right. And then you do have some assigned fund balances, meaning they're earmarked for specific projects. This was done as part of the budget usually, and so it's included here as well, just to show that you have earmarked it for those. There are several pages. I know that your pension plan is always a hot topic, so I just wanted to point out there's a lot of information. Yeah, mayor for a day. Pension's very exciting stuff.
No, my mom was just making a silly face at me.
Gotta love kids, right?
No, we should bring her every one of your audit presentations.
I keep hitting it, but should I do something else?
I'm not entirely sure why it's doing that.
Okay. All right. But note 9 has all of your pension you are part of the state retirement plan, right? And so that is actuarial based. So there are literally 4 pages discussing how they arrive at their numbers.
Yeah.
Note 10, page 26 is the ARPA funds. I will say their town is spending those down, but the remaining balances are reflected in note 10. Let me get there. There we go. And so, we're ending the period of time in which you can spend it, so keep on spending that money.
No problem. Yeah.
Oh, look, consensus on that. Okay.
Yeah.
What's left is the RSI. So the notes, there's a lot in there if you wanted to read through them. Those are kind of some of the highlights. The Exhibit B1 here, this is your budget versus actual. And there's a couple things just to point out. I know, I talk so slow, Mayor. I talk fast, but not really.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
The revenue, we had budgeted for $6.8 million. The revenue came in under budget at 5.7. And there were a couple things of note here. So in the intergovernmental, the ARPA expenditures, the revenue is recognized based on the expenditures that are incurred. And so in fiscal year 25, you expected to spend more than you spent. Mm-hmm. So we didn't recognize that revenue. We will recognize that next year. So that's one of the bigger variances in the revenue side. The other side is when you do your budget, when you budget for the use of prior year fund balance, that's in that category. That's not how the accounting standards show it. So that's why there's a big variance in there. Expenditure-wise, you had your final adopted budget is that second column. You had budgeted about $6.8 million. You only spent $6.4 million. I love putting only in that sentence. You only spent $6.4 million. So you were to the good in a couple categories. And if you look, the very last line, mostly ARPA expenditures were less than expected. So that will flow into fiscal year 26 instead.
Yep.
All right, bear with me. We are almost done. The last couple of schedules have to do with the retirement plan, and the requirement is to show 10 years. And so that's why the font on this is incredibly small, but I'm not arguing with the computer, so we're going to muscle through this. So that first line is the net pension liability, your share of the total state. It's really hard to get that percentage to work because you are such a fractional share of the entire plan. Your share in dollars is $1.7 million. Your covered payroll last year, coincidentally, was a very similar amount, 1.7. And so then there's some percentages there just showing you. The last schedule, which is the most important, I think, for all municipalities, is what were you required to contribute to the plan and what did you contribute to the plan? And so Sykesville has always contributed the required amount annually. So you guys are very good at doing that. You will see that contribution.
Sorry, what did you just say?
Very good at funding your pension plan.
Thank you.
You will see, and the chief's going to love me here in about 10 seconds. You will see that percentage continues to increase. It's about 12%, that one at the bottom of the covered payroll. And that is because the LEOPS portion just keeps going higher and higher, and you have additional salaries in that department. So that's kind of why you'll see like a steady increase in the contribution as a percentage. Well worth all the time and effort. I say it every year.
Jason, can you see what she's driving tonight?
Yeah. By the way, I had to stop for the train. I'm like, I'm going to be late because of the train, and they're not going to believe it.
No, that's a sign of good luck.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
This is a train town.
I love it.
You were so chosen.
Any questions on that? On the audit? It was a good, clean audit. You had a new treasurer, and she worked with our team wonderfully.
Thank you for reporting that out loud to everyone. I've already known that and been advised, but it's good for the council and the public.
Yeah, it's very important. The delay was really on our end. And I apologize for that, but we will get everything submitted to the state this month.
Okay. As soon as we get this approved.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Eva.
you. You want me to put it back on?
Thank you.
Carrie doesn't want me to touch it anymore. I don't know.
So next, I'll say anything as soon as they get quiet.
I'm going to sneak out of town.
Go fast. Go quick.
Thank you, Eva. Go Steelers.
Goodbye.
So the next part of our agenda is the announcements and reports, and we're going to let Eva start with the first announcement. Elsie, why did I say Eva? Eva left. Elsie, so sorry. Elsie's going to start with the first announcement.
The next meeting is Monday, January 26, 2026. Isn't that a funny date?
It is. It is.
We have our volunteer opportunities available on the Planning Commission as a crossing guard on the police auxiliary.
Very good. And if anybody listening is interested in either of those opportunities, I should say any one of those 3 opportunities, please email town@sykesville.net for more information about volunteering with the town. And then next item is
staff updates.
That's you, Joe, please.
All right, thank you, Mayor and Junior Mayor.
All right.
Wanted to let everybody know, or at least the public know, I know council already has heard this, but we have heard from our contractor doing the work on Main Street. Looks like they're going to try to mobilize next week, starting on Monday. So the idea is that they're going to start on the distillery side of the roadway, then jump to the firehouse side of the roadway, and then eventually in the roadway. So again, that's when we'll be doing some more public notices specifically about how the traffic impact's going to be. But at least for the time being, we expect them to be located just in the parking lot. So,
okay. Thank you, Joe.
more to come on that. Again, really for public education, I know council already knows this, but the town's contract with the potential purchase of the Royal Electric property has fallen through. The seller has decided to go with another bid for the property at a cost that we weren't going to elevate to. The only reason I bring that up mainly is because usually in January you'll see a budget revision coming forward. We are going to hold off on that for at least a few more weeks to make sure we get through our strategic planning session and see how some other capital projects start to flesh out before we decide how we're actually going to adjust the budget.
Thank you, Joe.
Let's see. Quick station update. We have spoke to the Liberatory Group. I think they're going to be either here at the council meeting on the 26th or at the meeting, the first meeting in February, just to give a public update on kind of where they stand on progress. So I know that's a question that everybody usually gets. Stay tuned for the 26th.
Thank you.
Let's see. Last couple things. Over this past weekend, our Eagle Scout, who had presented the flag retirement box,
Yes.
actually was able to complete the installation of that. It is down by the gazebo, right there in front of the town hall or townhouse building. He's still working on getting the website updated, and once that is up and live, he plans to come back and do another presentation just to give everybody kind of the last pieces of that project. So again, it looks good down there by the gazebo, and it is operational. So if anybody wants to drop off a flag, it's being checked. And then the last thing, just to give a thank you to the police department and the auxiliary staff who came in kind of last minute yesterday to help with the last minute protests that showed up on Main Street. We did have notice. It was just a very, very quick notice again. So again, thanks to the police department staff to make sure everything went off, and everybody was safe and everything happened the way we expected it to.
Thank you.
So thank you, Chief.
Yes, Chief. Thank you.
And that is all I have, Mayor.
Wonderful. Thank you. That brings us to our treasurer's report. I don't know how you could have any more to say than what we've already heard. I'm just teasing.
Yeah. Well,
We've reviewed the treasurer's report. We know what you're about to say. Yeah.
So revenue, same as last year. There wasn't a whole lot of revenue. Most of the revenue was the state aid protection grant that we get and real estate taxes, but it was minimum total of $80,000. But like Eva said, Maryland State Retirement, our contribution is always due in December, and the rates went up again. So the total amount that was the town's portion for everybody that's an employee that's part of the program was $278,000. So other than that, with salaries, the expenses weren't crazy other than that, which is due this time every year.
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
Any questions for the treasurer?
How much was the increase compared to?
So I have it. So for the employees, not part of the LEOPS, originally it was 8.44%. We paid $74,000 last year. Now it's 9.75%. And it was $95,000, so it's $20,000 for the employees. For LEOPS, it went from 38% to 39.64%, causing an increase from $172,000 to $214,000, net result of $41,000, which includes a $31,000 credit from us transferring the pension over to Maryland State, which I think is due to expire in 2028.
Good job. That's the budget adjustment in our future.
We do when we do our projections, we calculate the increase.
Yeah, we've been talking. So, and it's been a year, and I want to thank everybody. I truly love it.
Oh, absolutely. We're happy that you're here, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Jen, is there any type of savings by paying that at one time versus splitting it?
It is one-time payment.
And that's the only option that we would have?
Yeah, because what they do is they take it off of our salaries, and then they do the percentage off our salary. So I guess they wait till everything closes, and then they send us a bill, and it's always in November.
Okay.
Due in December. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you very much, Jen. Appreciate you. Yay. I'll ask the chief to come up and for the public safety report.
Chief, please come up for the public safety report.
Love this girl.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Good evening, Madam Mayors.
All right, all right. Thank you, Chief. Good evening.
Welcome aboard, Councilman Smith. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, I know you're kind of pressed for time tonight, hoping to make this game, but I've got to say, in all honesty, this is probably the largest public safety report we've had since I've been here.
I've got the streaming DVR set. We'll be okay.
But
I'm not getting sweaty yet.
We'll try to go through it briefly. But as you can see, this report covers November 17th through January 4th, and a total of 1,611 events, which again is the largest that we've ever reported on. Just some of the highlights out of those events were 37 assist other agency, 35 community policing, 912 patrol checks, and 146 traffic enforcement initiatives, as well as 23 incident reports during that period. So very busy period for us, right around the holidays, and a lot of good work that I want to just touch on a few things if there are no questions about the initial numbers.
I have a quick question about report number 12628.
Is that an incident report?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yep, and it's at Freedom. It's at Freedom Park. There, Officer Bond apparently
the
saw
report
like
of somebody with a rifle.
Yeah.
And there was, according to him, a very large response of police personnel. But I think he said 100 cars leaving out of there that night. I don't think they ever verified if there was any shots fired or if there was a person with a gun. But it may have been a swatting incident. But there was apparently a lot of people there.
Okay.
From reviewing the dash cam and body cam, there were probably 100 plus vehicles as he did arrive.
Yeah, I saw it
in the
too.
middle of the night.
There's a lot of people there for some reason. So, but yeah, that's all we know about that.
And they started to disperse because of
They
Officer
saw the
Bond's
lights
presence.
coming, and they tried to leave, but they blockaded the park until they could figure out what was going on.
Okay. All right. I just didn't know if there was any more than what was in the report, if it was determined. So, but thank you for the confirmation. And then, did the lost dog from Hawk Ridge get found? I hate when I see this stuff.
That's the one that
And
Morgan
then there's-
posted on Facebook.
We don't know the answer.
I believe it did.
Are you saying that just to make me feel better?
No. I saw a follow-up post to that.
Okay.
The Indian Red. It's like a brindle dog with white belly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
They found it.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Lieutenant. Okay. And it's all you again, Chief.
I have a
Oh, so
question.
sorry. President Carter has a question for you.
Incident report 00196 was the person found.
Yes. Yep. She was missing for about a period of, I believe, 6 days. I think there's some mental illness involved in that, and apparently she was at a hospital and just hadn't communicated that to her.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else for Chief?
Nope.
Okay, moving right along. The first thing I want to do is recognize PFC Jacobs. I know, Mayor, you were very interested in this as well and wanted
Yes.
Andrew to be here. Come on
Very
up,
much so.
Andrew, please, if you don't mind. So recently we were informed that Officer Jacobs was selected as one of the final, I guess, honorable mention was the actual award for the Ethan Saylor Alliance and the Maryland Department of Disabilities, an annual award for law enforcement personnel who have demonstrated commitment to making citizens with intellectual and developmental disabilities feel safe, included, and understood in their communities. And this was a result of one of our local merchants who had, well, I guess you would call it barrier-free.
Sure. Yeah.
Who had nominated him based upon her interactions with him. And so Lieutenant Kilgore attended the award ceremony with Andrew back on January 9th, right across the street here at the training center, and he received a very nice award, and I believe it was a state of Maryland official certification, which he said he very much appreciated, even though he doesn't like to be recognized for all the outstanding work he does. He said, this one was kind of nice. So, and I think they got lunch out of it as well.
That's fantastic.
I've never met a more compassionate and empathetic person. I've seen him in action. He cares about all the people he deals with, especially people who are struggling or in need of assistance. And I've seen him take money out of his own wallet and pay for people that are in need of help. So, very deserving award. So, Andrew, thank you for all that you do for this town.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to give some a very brief background. So the Ethan Saylor Alliance is what is offering this award annually. And Ethan Saylor was a young man who admired law enforcement and first responders. He loved animals, music, and movies. He also had Down syndrome and the obvious developmental disability that comes along with that. In 2013, Ethan thought he could get a second deal of a movie and he wouldn't leave when he was asked to leave. And some off-duty officers who were working at the mall, unfortunately, put him in a position that his heart stopped beating. So out of that, the Maryland Department of Disabilities formed this alliance and are working to educate all first responders on exactly what it is that our police officer here today is being honored for, which is how to work with individuals with developmental delays and also make them feel right at home. I just want to say that PFC Jacobs, you are a star community member and also one of our most community-focused officers, and you're an extraordinary human being.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. And we're deeply grateful for your dedicated and compassionate work and service to the neurodivergent adults in our community. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Well done, Andrew. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
All meetings for
Yeah.
Lisa to miss.
Yeah. Of all meetings for Lisa to miss. Is right.
Keeping with the theme of recognizing our outstanding officers, I also wanted to bring to your attention, this was in the local paper, I believe you all may have seen this, an incident which Sergeant Slareth and Sergeant Lacey were involved in back on December 12th. There was a lookout. There was apparently a theft from the Ulta right up here on Ridge Road. And there was a lookout given of the suspect vehicle. And Michael and Patty were working that day, obviously, and they heard the lookout. There was unknown direction of travel, but they took the initiative to go out here to 32 and proceed to look for the car. And Michael initially spotted it, and Patty was able to get behind it and record the tag, which was then relayed to the investigators. They didn't catch them that night. In fact, they sped away from Sergeant Lacey, and he wisely decided not to pursue because that's basically what our policy is. And they later caught up with these two young ladies. Search warrants were served by the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. And resulting in the recovery of merchandise from both the Sykesville Ulta location as well as several others. Estimated value of the merchandise recovered was in excess of $11,000, which was a result of several thefts from regional Ulta stores. And as you may know, those stores are stolen from almost on a daily basis. And thanks to Michael and Patty's efforts and proactive enforcement, we were able to provide the tag, which was ultimately what led to the arrest of 2 individuals who are still incarcerated, as far as I know. So, outstanding job by Michael and Patty.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great police work.
Thank you, Chief.
And lastly, I want to share just a brief, and this couldn't have been more timely because this was received today, and I believe you received this as well, Mayor, if you noticed.
Yes.
A letter, an email that was sent to me today, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because it is pretty extensive, but I'll just read you the first paragraph. It's from a resident who was the victim of identity theft and fraud, which Sergeant Lacey worked on diligently, as he always does. And just the first paragraph. I'm a few weeks late in composing this email. It was initially intended just to thank you and kudos to Sergeant Lacey for everything he has done for me since someone decided to steal my identity last month and fraudulently open a bank account in my name. Sergeant Lacey wasted no time getting involved and going above and beyond to help me. I joked with him the first time we talked that he was actually a pseudo legend in our house. Boy, his head's really going to get One of my favorite parts of watching the town council meetings is listening to my updates and the new crime fighting escapades of Sergeant Lacey. He and I share the same amount of just can't let it go, and I have an even greater appreciation for him now. Beyond his assistance with my case, I have thoroughly enjoyed getting to know him a bit during our various phone calls regarding the matter. Just another example of the effort and the diligence that Sergeant Lacey puts into every single case he gets. On this public safety report alone, there's several other fraud investigations with which he spent an incredible amount of time. In one case, a resident, her identity was stolen and her social security number was used to purchase cars and other things. And
mortgage?
Yeah, a mortgage. But the victim was actually not out any money per se because it was fraudulently just using her social security card, but what it caused was issues in her credit report, as well as tax issues. But Sergeant Lacey did an amazing job tracking down a suspect in Illinois. And we just got word today that our state's attorney is going to authorize charges and extradition of that suspect back to Maryland to face charges. So an amazing job, as always, and he just continues to amaze us with his investigative ability and the fact that he just leaves no stone unturned and works every case to the very end. So we're lucky to have him. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah. And I promise you maps. They are coming. Really this time. Our in-house IT expert, Lieutenant Queen, has been able to provide me with a great format for mapping some of our calls and incidents. We decided to hold off on rolling that out this meeting, but next meeting, be prepared to see some maps. Hopefully you'll like it. Anything else from me?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. That brings us to council committee / commission updates. If we have any, just start talking. Awesome.
Start talking out of nowhere?
Yeah, well, they're good like that. Like, I can just say, go for it, and they'll go.
So the January Spark meeting is Saturday the 24th.
Okay.
And it's the events and strategy planning session. It starts at 10. I think it was scheduled kind of 10 to 2, but it's 10 to however long it takes.
Okay.
Here at the townhouse, and anyone is welcome to attend.
Awesome. Is that the first year for that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's what we get with the coordinator of Parks and Rec. Fantastic. Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other commission updates?
I do. For DSC, let's see. January 15th, there is a winter sewing workshop, which I originally thought was actually like physical sewing.
Yeah.
But it turns out it is actually winter sewing, which is a workshop that teaches participants how to sprout seeds indoors over the winter to then plant them in the spring. So I learned something new today.
Sewing SOW.
Yes. And that's in collaboration with the Carroll County Public Library and Intentional Tea Time. everybody probably remembers we did our Happy-thon holiday drive last month. We raised $18,602, which is up from $15,000 the prior year, supporting 84 children and their families with gifts, grocery assistance, and it's just again, another demonstration of community generosity and spirit that I'm really pleased with. With regard to our governance, reporting and compliance, our auditor review is underway, draft under board review for our National Main Street Assessment, as well as our Main Street Annual Report for Maryland. And I believe next meeting, the DSC is going to do its annual town presentation. So Julie will be here for that. And we're currently in the process of interviewing to fill our event coordinator position and onboarding a Century High School intern. And that brings me to, I've been involved in the interviews for the event coordinator, as well as the interviews we had for the new council member. And I'd really like to point out that please get involved in the town. There are so many opportunities to just help out and learn about things that go on in the town, whether it's volunteering at Parks and Rec or one of the community events, or crossing guard or planning commission, whatever it may be. It helps you really get a knowledge of what's going on in the town, and helps you then move on from there if you want to get further involved, be a council member or get on the commission. So please get involved. Every group needs volunteers at this point. Good.
Thank you.
And finally, facade improvement program. DSC's been meeting with town staff to implement the next $125,000 in conditional and restricted facade funding. That's been going on for the last several years, and it's really helped to beautify Main Street.
For sure. Thank you.
Quite the increase from what we typically get, which
Yes.
is usually a $50,000 program. It's $125 this year.
Yep.
So
Yes.
we're actually looking at ways that we can increase the potential project total
Limits,
amount.
if you
So
will.
again, it used to be capped at $10,000. We're looking at raising it to $25,000. So.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, I think the state realized that it's good to give money to municipalities who have proven to do right with it. So I'm just going out on a limb and saying that's why that was increased. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else for the good of the order?
Well, I will say the planning commission did not meet. We had no
Thank you.
agenda items.
Okay,
So,
thank you so much. Councilman Smith. Elsie, you want to ask this question?
Is there a mention to adjourn the meeting so Mayor Lennox can get home for the Steeler game?
Awesome. So first and second, President Carter and Councilwoman Smith, and then you ask.
All in favor of adjournment say aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Now she doesn't have to say unanimously.
I'll abstain.
Okay, he's going to abstain. Perfect. Can you say?
Motion passes unanimously. Meeting adjourned.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Elsie.